What's up guys, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. I'm Goki and today we're going to be looking at tier list. So I updated the tier list, made some changes. I cut a tier completely out, so it's going to look a lot different from the previous list in terms of like who's where. I actually ranked the Traveler this time, and for the most part, I think this is how I'm gonna go. I might update, like this is definitely gonna be updated later on. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. We're pretty good. This list is built on a couple different things, but let's go ahead and get into it. I'll explain as we go. So, yeah, here we go. Here we are. This is just the tier list as is. This is pretty much like my previous changes, but I want to go ahead and show that this is how I feel right now. This is all based on Constellation 0. Honestly, it's really hard. Like, I think she should be here. So I've gotten most of the characters here. I have a free play account with some of these other characters as well, so I've been able to play as most of the characters. The only difference is my child rating is based on the free trial we got. I studied his constellations and so on and so forth. I messed with his trial a couple times, tried to get used to his fighting style. The character is really good, just requires a little bit of previous knowledge, and his ability for his thing is very like his passive ability, his third passive that's always active. Like it's very specific, right? It has a specific niche and it adds on top of that. So the characters at the bottom, some of them are unreleased, but these three here are already, well, these two at least are released, and I'm gonna go ahead and place them. But first, we're gonna cut through all the fat and break down exactly how I feel about these. So Zhang, Xianling, she got dropped a tier because her exploration is just that awful, and to fully invest in her damage otherwise, you need a specific weapon. I think her constellations, she needs at least maybe the first one, and this list is based on Constellation 0, and the character just needs a lot of investment. Although her assist is amazing and godly, like her supportive ability and function and her ability to create reactions, she just falls short in other aspects, so I had to knock her down. Tier list. Ningguang, good damage dealer. So like I wanted to make this change, but I still think she's over here, right? Specifically for a reason. It's based on reactive damage, which she can't cause because Geo doesn't have a lot of good reactions. They make it up in raw damage, obviously. Yes, right, that's correct. Which Ningguang has. She can be placed as your main DPS or your secondary DPS, right? And she has really good exploration, but she has bad defensive capabilities. I know people are gonna say, but Wall is really good defensively, but like outside of Wall, you know, she doesn't have, you know, good defensive capabilities like Jean to be able to instant heal, or Kiki to be able to instant heal herself with casting E or casting Q on the field. You know, she's just really good at damage and she's good at exploration, but I feel like she needs more investment than some of these other characters, right? And like I said, this tier list is based on Constellation 0 and all the other functions of reactive damage, which she can't, defensive capability, which a lot of these characters honestly can't, but Venti definitely can. Anyway, let's not get into that. Venti definitely can, and so on and so forth, but and her exploration is just really good because she can mine ore, right? You have to take every single little thing into account and how she affects the common gameplay of the game. So Ningguang, sadly, because this is Con 0, is pretty much staying at there, right? Because most of these characters can do a lot more with 0 constellations than she can, and I think that's why it's there for that particular reason. Yeah. So This is pretty much the list. Any other outliers? Let's see. I bumped Sucrose because of like the quality of life, and I think Fischl has solidly went up a tier or stayed up here because of the changes to the exploration mechanic, where you not the exploration mechanic but the dispatch mechanic, where she can reduce the amount of hours that she's dispatched, and this pretty much leaves her in a good place. You can literally use her while she's deployed searching Mondstadt for whatever, right? So, which is really good, and Bennett benefits from that too, but con 0, benefit feels fall off while Fischl wouldn't, because archers for the most part are strong in damage because they can always and constantly crit. Someone added me on Twitter, sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, I think these placements are going to be, I'm gonna adjust the list ever so slightly. Mona is really good because of her ability to walk on water. I think the list might be here. Okay, so very clear cut and dry. I think Diona is an A tier unit, really good support. Cryo is invaluable, as I say. She can cause one of the best reactive abilities in the game. Good support unit overall. Her damage is decent. And once again, she's an archer, so crit damage is always active. She has little to no need for crit rate if she's aiming in. In most of the case, you're going to be spamming the bow, you're not going to be aiming in, but like a lot of characters benefit from you aiming in. So she's one of those, very good character. And she has a okay passive in terms of double restorative properties or something like that. I can't remember what it is. But you're cooking food, restorative food can give you stuff. So she has a Barber-like effect, which is decent, right? Overall, really good support unit, deserves her place. Her element has a lot to do with it as well, you know, so on and so forth. And then finally, the thing that everyone has been hoping for. But before we go ahead and slam him on the tier list and everyone rages at me and mobs and pitchforks, please, honestly, like, you know, you guys consider subscribing to the channel. You know, if you haven't hit that red button, go ahead and hit it now. Leave a like if you're enjoying the tier list or my analyzation skills and all that nonsense. But yeah, for real, like it's awesome if you guys are doing this. All right, let's go ahead and without this stupid interlude. I don't know why I did it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put Child here. For the most part. Okay, so I'm gonna break down exactly why he's that good, and this is based on the free trial for the character. This isn't based on me owning the character. This is based on a lot of research plus playing the character in the trial, see how the character feels. Child is not a Diluc where you can just go burr, right? You don't turn off your brain. You have to keep in mind your cooldown. You have to keep in mind your melee stance, how long you're gonna be in it, or your range stance. You have to be moving all over the field and constantly remembering exactly. He plays on player skill a lot more than Diluc does. Obviously, Diluc will shine because if you include player player skill in mind, Diluc will perform very well because you not only is he easy to use, but you know, player skill added to it makes Diluc ridiculously monstrous. As is the case with, you know, some of these other damage dealers, but Child or Tartaglia in specificity, I think, yeah, is a very, very strong unit. He has really strong effects. Riptide is a really good ability. He's Hydro, which is a good selling point considering Mona, Barbara, and Shichu is the other one, right? So it is important to know that he is a Hydro unit. He has some value, like he has value there, and he's a high tier one on top of that. And he is also very, very, very flexible, right? His damage scales off of only one weapon. He has flexible playstyle. So if you like melee, you can abuse melee a little bit, but you have to watch your cooldown. You can abuse range. He has access to consistent crit damage because he's using a bow. He has really good damage output, and he can be in the reactive stance, especially with cryo users. So that's really important. And then moving on to exploration, he doesn't have any value in exploration, or a lot. But his value comes from Abyss, right? Actually, honestly, Childe could be right here, right? That's still like absolutely top tier. He could be right here, honestly. As an overall Con Zero, at Con Zero, he's still relatively strong, right? Honestly, he might be like right there, right? Because Razor has that exploration over him, but it's really hard to put him here because of his passive, right? His passive doesn't really affect exploration as much as you'd think, but what it affects the most is Abyss. It affects the consistency of all your characters. His ability on his passive is everyone in your party member gets a bump in their normal attack level. So that means when you attack normally, you get a bump in pretty much your damage overall, right? Your percentages go up. So it's very beneficial to have him in a team or like a mixed composition for damage overall, right? So if you're doing double water for healing bonus, cryo with Kiki or Diona, and then you're using maybe one lightning dude, Fischl, for superconduct status, which I don't think you would need. I think in most cases you pick either Klee or Xiling, or Xiling, for the reactions of vaporize and stuff, and melt. Yeah, I think I'm gonna place him here for now. We'll see how the normal effects affect exploration. It just might make things overkill, and I don't think that's necessarily like a super high positive, because exploration is, in terms of like chewing through things damage wise, is pretty easy as is, even at world level 5 and 6. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any, I wouldn't say, like, there's no need to type paragraphs. Like, tell me your placement of Childe in the description down below. If you have a character that has a specific placement that you'd prefer, and remember, this is based on my opinion, right? You have your own opinion. Everyone sees placements and they go, wah, you know, immediately. Please look through the video before you go ahead and make your criticisms, and not stop halfway, listen to what I said, and then put it there, and then not listen to the whole story. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and until then, adventure on.